I done got in trouble again.
What the fuck? That's right. I'm back. Peace out.
I done got in trouble again.
What's up, boxing fans? This is the Rope a Dope Report. I'm your host, Chris Carlson. I'm back. Just like the song says, I'm back. It's been a couple weeks since I made a video. I don't really remember the last time I made a video. I know I put a bunch of videos out there, prediction videos and whatnot. But I'm back. I'm going to have an after the fight videos for all the fights this weekend. Should be a great weekend of fights. Anyway, this is a prediction video for the Paul Williams versus Kermit Cintron May 8th fight on HBO. It's going to co-feature with the replay of Mosley Mayweather. Anyway, let's get right into this. Paul Williams coming off a great, almost fight of the year type candidate. For fight of the year candidate, did I say that right? Anyway, it was a great fight. He won. It was a controversial win just because of, well, a lot of people thought Martinez won a tight fight. Also the 119-110. You know, sometimes judges, if you come forward and you're busy, they just give it to you. You know, so that does kind of suck. I gotta admit, the first time I watched the fight just live, I thought Paul Williams inched it out just barely. I thought in the middle rounds, Sergio Martinez gave up a lot of those rounds. I've since watched it 4 or 5 times easily. I thought Martinez won every time. I could see a draw. Very tight fight. There's some, let me make sure I turn this down. There's some very tight rounds, tie rounds in there. So anyway, you know, he showed a lot of good things that he did. You know, the busy, the outworking people. When he wanted to, the jab. You know, he's a good fighter. But he gives away his height. He leans in. He doesn't move his head as much like he should. And he has problems with guys that can move. Just bottom line, southpaw against southpaw that was last time. Kermit Cintron. Now, Cintron looked like his career was never going to be on that top level. It looked like he was kind of going to fade. He lost to Margarito twice, so we really don't know much about that. He lost to Sergio Martinez, even though it was a draw. That was nonsense. I was a little down going on Cintron going in to the Angulo fight. I thought he'd try to use his power, and I thought Angulo would probably beat him. It was just one of those things, you know. I was down on him. I remember he hurt his hand in a fight, and then after the fight, he went to the ground in so much pain, and oh my, it was like he just got a shot from a balcony seat. You know what I mean? It was just, and then he, you know, he's talking about, I got a headbutt against Sergio Martinez in the 6th round, was it? When he didn't get up for the count in time. I got to give him credit for that, though, because he somehow talked the ref into continuing in that fight, so I'll give him credit there. But I got to admit, I was down. I really thought he'd just go in there and try to out-brawl Angulo, and I thought he'd lose. You know, he showed another layer in his game. He moved. He moved most of the fight. You know, he's got a good jab. He's got a great right hand, and he showed some movement, some good movement. He did get tired in that fight. Angulo got back in that fight, and that just goes to show you. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's you're chicken, you're a coward if you move." Oh, that's not true, man. That's not true. It's just another skill. It's another layer in order to be a good to great fighter. And it's very tiring to do that. He got tired. A lot of people get tired. Sergio Martinez got a little tired midway through the fight against Paul Williams. So it's one of those things that it's tough to do. It's tough to move the whole time in a fight. So you got to give him credit for that. So as far as this fight breaking down, my problem with Cintron, he tried to load up on that right hand. That's kind of been his downfall. He's got a good jab, and like I said, a great right hand, but he tries to load up too much, and when he gets frustrated, skills kind of go out of the window, and he tries to land big right hands. That's kind of been the problem with him. Let me go ahead and turn that off. So how do I see this fight going down? Now, I'm not ready to call Kermit Cintron a boxer, a guy that's going to outbox people time and time again. Now, he showed movement, and he showed improvement in his game, But that was against Angulo, who I'm not going to say he's been in there soft because he doesn't have that many fights. And he's been in there with some pretty good opponents for the number of fights he's been in there. But he never was in there with a top-level guy yet, or even a top 10 guy yet. So he was, you know, there's some speculation, and he came in really late for the weigh-in, and he didn't look himself, Angulo. But I'm not taking any credit away from Cintron. I just would still call him a puncher boxer. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put the boxer in front of the puncher just yet. I think that skill of movement, he's not slick by any moves. By any moves. I just said that. He's not necessarily the slickest dude. He still needs to refine that part of his game. I'm not saying he can't, but I'm just not ready to call him that just yet. So we know that Paul Williams has problems against guys that move, but Sergio Martinez's movement and slickness and hand speed and just overall cleverness inside, outside, moving around the ring is way more better. I was going to say that. Way better and at a much higher level than Kermit Cintron. So I see Paul Williams winning this fight. You know, it could be a cut, could be a TKO type thing. I don't see that. I see it a distance fight, and I think overall work rate, busyness, hand speed. Another thing with Paul Williams, the hand speed is, you know, it's a lot better than Angulo. He's a much better offensive, complete fighter than Angulo. As far as just coming forward, trying to cut you off, throwing his jab, and trying to just outwork you. So I think he's going to outwork Kermit Cintron. I got Paul Williams by decision. Anyway, this has been the Rope-A-Dope Report. I'm your host, Chris Carlson. Peace.